Hello and welcome to the Love Thy Nerd Pulse podcast, a show where we have conversations with LTN staff, missionaries, high-level volunteers, all in order to dig into and discover what we are reading, watching, playing, and experiencing in nerd culture. LTN Pulse is part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network, and I'm your host, one of them, Luke. I am the director of missions here at Love Thy Nerd, a board game and video game enthusiast, and I used to scuba dive. And I'm joined,
by me. I'm Michael. I am a podcast producer, Twitch streamer, and former longboarder, much like our other host, which we just found out before this call.
Said that too. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
We should have saved it for the next one.
We'll save it. We'll do it in the next one anyway.
We'll bring it up again. Yeah, you got to listen to the next one. And we are joined tonight by our special guest. Take it away.
All right. I'm Brian. I am LTN's community manager. I'm also a video game and board game enthusiast with just a touch of tabletop RPGs as well. So yeah. We're when we started talking about having this podcast, and we kind of got the whole just plan in place. We're like, who do we start with? Because people have got enough of Matt and Bubba, but like, who's got their like just finger on the pulse of the community? And so it's like, well, obviously our community manager. Like, where do we even start other than that? I don't know. I mean, there's the other guys. I mean, the mods, really, but I don't know. I mean,
they actually do all the hard work.
They do all the hard work. I just take all the
get them later.
We'll get them later. They're fine.
Yeah. We're working our way through, but we did definitely want to start with, like, I mean, this is kind of a podcast for the community. Like, we wanted to include them. Like, this is a big part of why I got so invested in LTN early on, is just like, because I got to learn about the people, behind the I don't know, the curtain, not curtain, but just behind LTN, like what made it happen. And so
on the other side of the screen really is what it was, I agree. Like those Matt and Bubba in the morning and free play, and even like the odd stuff that Chris would do with Ryan from time to time, like the fast food, the S tier fast foods that they would do. And I'm like, this is the type of content where they're producing. Okay. I mean, I can get behind it, but okay. Like, yeah.
They were also wrong a lot of the time.
So.
Where did they put Chick-fil-A? That's all I got to know.
I don't remember.
We had to have those like VODs somewhere
on some hard drive
in California somewhere trapped. I'm sure someone will find a screenshot somewhere, but they did like French fries. It's like all those YouTube videos where the guys go around and they're like,
okay.
Ugh. Yeah.
It's the little things, just getting to know people in general. Like, I'm not going to look up, what do people think about French fries in LTN? But like now that it's like, oh no, I could get behind that. Or like, you guys are absolutely wrong. It's like, why are you ranking Burger King so high?
It's funny though, because that's actually like become like a meme within the community. Shout out to MDB. Like one of his major litmus tests for people that join the community is asking them where they stand on chicken sandwiches. So like, oh yeah,
yep. Well, MDB is a big chicken sandwich guy, so.
Right? But it's because I don't want to say it's because of that, but that's kind of sets the tone for our community as well too. That we're food centric, but we're also we're not food centric, but we're nerds. Yeah. We just like to talk and about anything really, I guess.
Well, speaking of chicken sandwiches, how did you end up where you're at within LTN?
I have been an active member of LTN I want to say probably around right before the pandemic. I was just in the community. And then when everything kind of shut down, I was looking for some connections, and I connected with some really cool people. We just started talking. I think the major pivot point was like Xbox purchase day, like Xbox One X purchase day, and PlayStation 5 purchase day, where like everyone was like refresh all day. And we just, we were all like sharing links, like I found it here. Hey, I found it here. And it was a cool experience to like be genuine with people about it and be excited and have a good time. And I just really started hanging out more, hung out with the Among Us crew that kind of formed up from it. And about 6 months ago, the community management position kind of opened up, and Bubba and Matt reached out, and I expressed interest in it. And I've been kind of running with it. I've been managing our Discord space and our Facebook space, trying to find ways to just kind of keep people talking, find interests of people that they want to talk about, and really just trying to create programs or create events that can connect with other people. So yeah.
I mean, like we talked like the simplicity of like, oh, what are the best French fries, or where do you rank that? Like you had some polls going at some point. Discussions. Everyone loves talking about what they love, whether it's anime or RPGs, video games. Like
people love to answer questions is really what it is. Like you ask them a question like, hey, what's this? And they'll be like, oh, you've never heard of this before? Well, let me just, that. I try to give people that space, or I want to give people that space to just talk and be themselves and feel safe, really. Like it's a community that I wish I was a part of long before, like that's what I want to create. And I want to keep it going or try to keep it going for the next group coming in, the next group of people that discover Discord or Facebook, if Facebook is still around. And there's, it's just interesting because like it's, like I said, it's what's that next big thing? Is it going to be Reddit? Is it going to be VR? Is it going to be something like is Discord it? It really is. It's an interesting community, and it's a great time to just kind of be a part of it. And yeah.
It's been awesome to see for sure. And like, it's definitely taken off. If you guys are looking for that same community, like hop in. We've got a corner of the Discord for everyone. We've got Facebook's chaos. If you like memes, let's go post your memes over there. But no, that's super cool. Like, I remember when you first started, I was like, who's this guy? Just because I'm so wrapped up in missions sometimes I don't realize what's going on. But Bubba said it earlier today. He's like, I love it when I don't know what's going on. And like, I don't have to care. It was not the proper choice of words. It's like, oh, I'm glad I don't care about the community. That's not it.
No, but he said something. No. It was effectively, I don't have to care about the community. And everyone's like,
excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, cool. No, thanks for all you do. Like that stuff's ramping up, and we're definitely seeing that like just blooming for sure. So like I said, hop in the Discord, lovethynerd.com/Discord if you're listening to this and not already in there. But speaking of just talking about stuff that we love, that you love, what have you been reading, watching, playing, experiencing? Let's start with watching.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of on the better late than ever train right now. And my wife and I are watching Young Sheldon together. We were big fans of The Big Bang Theory, and it was just kind of ironic. We were both like looking at our phones one day, and our social media feeds were just feeding us like all these like clips of Young Sheldon, and we were like, huh, maybe we should watch this. And ironically, like I think like the night that you, Luke, you reached out to me about this, there was an episode about how Sheldon's mom was just having this time, and Sheldon, who's this big prolific, I don't believe in God, I'm a man of science type thing, he sits down and he says something, and I wish I had it ready and to pull up, but he like said something to the effect of like it'd be a waste for it to not have a creator behind it. And I was just like, whoa, like sometimes, you know, you get those things like hit you in the face, and that was a part of Young Sheldon for me, really.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips, and I want to say I've seen that clip like on TikTok or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a couple of scenes like that where his mom's like, you know, it's like, you should, I want you to come to church with me and stuff like that. He's like, I'll go, but not because I believe in God. It's because I believe in you, or I love you, or something like that.
Yeah, I love you and it makes you happy is what he says all the time. Like, and I was like, that's cute. And I'm like, but it's also like, it's just the dichotomy that they have though too. So.
Were you a Big Bang Theory fan?
Sadly, yes.
Why sadly?
You go back and you watch it now, and it's one of those series that doesn't hold up. Like, you know, like I think it was too on the nose with some of the pop culture references, you know, like, and even it was at that time when there was that shift in the industry, you know, like, hey, that type, like, you know, a joke like this wouldn't land now type stuff. So,
Michael, did you watch any of that? Any Big Bang Theory?
I think I've seen like some clips of Big Bang Theory, but yeah, it was for whatever reason, it wasn't a show that I ever got into. Like, I've seen a number of like scenes and been like, oh, nice, like the great references, like a lot of like deep cut nerd humor, science humor, which, you know, is something you can really appreciate. But yeah, I don't know, for what just one reason or another, I don't know, I never got into it.
In college, somebody like recommended it to me, and I don't think we've talked about it on the show yet. Well, obviously, this is the first episode. What am I talking about? But like, it'll probably come up again. Where like, if people recommend something to me, like part of my brain is like, I'm not watching that. Like, I need to discover it on my own.
My first thought too is like, how many seasons? Because it was a long running show, wasn't it?
I was like 12 seasons almost.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. That's a lot.
And there's that kind of like diminishing return of like, yeah, like 7 seasons, that's great, but start getting longer, and it's like I'm not gonna watch One Piece because it's a 10,000 episodes. 12 seasons isn't so bad, but like, but you know, it's one of those things where some people can see it as a commitment, but others are like, oh no, this is, if you're into it, and like it's just more and more and more. Does it hold up? When you were watching it, did you feel like it held up good from like where you started to where it ended?
Yeah, because it was following that you know, that curve at the time. But like, you go back now, and like, if you know, it's on syndication. You can't, you know, I feel like you cannot turn on a terrestrial TV and not find Big Bang playing somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, the jokes just don't sit the same, or just some of the stuff that you know, you see it and you're like, I don't know if that would land now type stuff, but I don't know.
Huh. Yeah. I haven't seen like a full episode all the way through. I've seen clips. I think there's clips that are funny, but I haven't seen it. And I think that's why I've been holding off on watching Young Sheldon, even though everyone I talk to says you don't have to watch Big Bang Theory at all.
You don't.
Like, it holds its own. So would you agree?
Yeah, I do actually. It's funny, but it does hold its own, and it's kind of like when someone recommend. Like I get what you're saying, Luke, too, about like when someone's like, I need to discover this on my own, and then like finding out that it's like 12 seasons. It's like when someone's like, hey, this book series is great, but it gets the best around like book 3. And you're like, well,
yeah,
I'm not going to commit myself to that.
It's the same with TV shows. They're like, oh, you really got to watch this show. The first season is awful, but just stick through it. And it's like,
I mean, it's hard in some like anime. It's hard getting people like you got to get past like 3 episodes. It's all I'm asking is 3 episodes. Like that's an hour and a half. I don't know if I can do that.
And then you can just skip. And then once you watch this season, you can skip this season because you don't need to worry about that storyline. Especially in anime, you don't have. That's been my experience with anime. When anybody's like, watch this, but don't watch this.
Yeah. And then follow this subreddit because it has all the information about where to like follow the timelines and the skips. And
that's when I stopped watching the CW shows.
Oh my gosh.
Where like I caught myself like every week I looked up a spreadsheet that somebody posted online to figure out the order to watch them in. I was just like, this is dumb. Why am I doing this? Because there's like 6 different like DC CW shows where it's like, do I watch The Arrow first? Do I watch Supergirl? Or like, where do we go next? Which one skipped one this week? And I've got to do like, it was bad. And then I stopped watching it and then they ended most of them. So, well, yeah, if you're listening to this and you're using a spreadsheet to watch whatever show you're watching, just stop. Just do it now. This is a message that you needed to hear.
Well, if you're into this and you're creating a spreadsheet for this podcast,
no, it's a database. It's different.
Be sure to send that link to Luke at lovethynerd.com.
Yeah, get bent at lovethynerd.com. I'm pretty sure that forwards to somebody in office. Find out. Just, yeah. What about playing, man? What you been playing? Board games, video games?
Video games right now. I just I've been a console player for the longest time. And I recently just got a Lenovo Legion Go. So that has been my like gateway back in the console PC gaming. It's a handheld Windows thing, and I've been playing.
I had to Google it because
it's like a Steam Deck kind of thing.
It's
handheld gaming,
bigger than a Steam Deck.
Oh, there it is. Nice. Now show. I believe it has a party trick.
Yes, it does. If I can do it.
Now that it's on camera.
Yeah. It's like a Joy-Con. Like it's like a Switch.
Yep.
That's so cool.
The one on the right side, you can flip a switch on the bottom and it becomes a mouse for first-person shooters.
Get out of here.
Okay. Yeah.
It also looks like it just fits in an adult's hand. And on like the Switch. It's like, what is this?
But it's
controller for ants.
It's like super heavy though. Like on a good gaming session, like my hand just kind of
sure.
The Switch does that too. Even because you're kind of holding it like this, so delicately.
Yeah. Now, does it run everything natively? Like you download games to it? Okay.
So it's Windows 11, AMD Ryzen chip in there. So you can put Game Pass, Steam, Epic, all of them.
That's dangerous.
Oh yeah,
that's dangerous.
Yeah.
See, I got a Steam Deck I borrowed a friend of mine. He's like, feel free to wipe it. Like if you want to like play around with it to see if you want it. Cause I was like, I might buy yours. Cause he was trying to get rid of it. I got it. And like the first thing I did was like basically jailbroke it to like download Game Pass and like do all these other things. I was just like, I was forcing it to be a PC And I was just like, I just need a gaming laptop. But if you can run Xbox Game Pass on that natively, like that's what's up.
Yeah, so Game Pass is on right now. What you can then do too, it's got USB-C on the top, and on the bottom, you can get like a little hub up to a monitor, an actual physical keyboard, mouse, and it has a kickstand too. So like it's
dude, yes,
it's
okay.
It's an investment. You know, it's not like a Steam Deck or the other ones out there, but it's like I was fortunate enough with where my day employer, not LTN, so hashtag not a sponsor. I was fortunate enough that my employer, we were selected for like a customer appreciation from one of our vendors, and this was like on the cart, and I was like,
yes, let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing that.
Anything in specific that you've been digging on the go?
I got God of War in the Steam sale, the first God of War that was on the PS4. So I've been really enjoying playing that without being interrupted. When you have children, as you know, I have 2 children, and it's hard to play and not be interrupted. So when I know everyone's asleep, I can have this and, you know, still be, you know, at least sitting on the couch with my wife and not utilizing the TV and having her being bored watching me play a game. And then like some of the indie games, I've really been enjoying some of the silly indie games out there. There's one called Cook Serve Delicious. It's a trilogy of games. On a laptop, it is like a typing simulator. Like you have to go through these motions and on console, and if you play with a controller, it's a rhythm game. It's like Hi-Fi Rush in a little bit, like that experience you got from Hi-Fi Rush, but it's about it's like Cooking Mama and Overcooked all together with this rhythm game aspect. So it's silly and it's fun, and it's just a good waste of a half an hour, and you're like, oh, a half hour's gone. Maybe more. But yeah, I've been just enjoying playing that, and just like Game Pass is like, it's like on console, you're like, that's a lot of games, but one on the PC, you're like, oh,
there's so
I didn't know that was there.
And now as of recording, the PC Game Pass is less expensive than console Game Pass, or is about to be less expensive, which is crazy. But it's still at like whatever $11 or $12, a steal of a deal if you're playing games consistently on your device.
And you're gonna get all the ABK stuff when it comes out, all the Activision Blizzard King stuff.
Yeah,
so.
It's off the rails, like in a good way. I mean, you got EA games in there. You've got, the Blizzard games coming. The new Black Ops is like dropping day one, like on Game Pass. It's like I haven't played a Call of Duty game like seriously since probably Black Ops 2. And Black Ops 6 is dropping. So I'll play it. They got zombies.
It's free.
Yeah, zombie mode is dope.
Yeah.
So do you feel like the Go handles like the bigger titles pretty well as well as like the indie games? Any drawbacks to it so far?
Battery, really. You have to you either have to be tethered to the wall, like if you're going to play like a session of Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy your 3 minutes.
You get hour and a half. Like if you can maximize it. Like I think I have it set up like it's giving me like 40 to 50 frames per second. You can bump it down to like 30 and maybe get 2 hours of gameplay on it. That's the one downside to it, is like, as I said, I was a primarily console player. to be handed something that's like, hey, you need to configure this for every single game you play. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But if you're playing like on a couch, or like if you got a couple spots, then you can have, because like my wife and I do this for our couch. We've got like drops for like USB-C for charging the Switch, or for our gaming laptops. We've got like easy places we can just plug in real quick, because we know those, like, some things in the living room may not move as much, and you hide there, and then that's your drop for like your power, for this or that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can do that too. Like I have a power bank that I can use, like if needed. But it's just like I said, it's, if you're gonna sit down, like if you're traveling with this, which I plan on traveling, and we'll talk about that later on. But like I plan on traveling with this, and it's like you need a power bank that can give this the power it needs. It's not like a Switch where it's like it just needs 30 amps. This needs 65.
Well, that was my rude awakening to like the gaming laptop. Like I got a budget gaming laptop, and yeah, as soon as I booted up a game, it was like, you got 30 minutes left. I was like, oh dang.
And that's if it's got a good battery. Some gaming laptops, man, it's just like, no, we're not plugged in. No, we're done. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. Okay, so what about aside from experiencing the glories of portable gaming, what's some stuff that you've been doing in your life and just experiencing?
Well, I'm a dad, so I'm doing a lot of parenting. My son just finished up his first week of vacation Bible school, which he had a blast. And if you have kids, or if you've ever attended a vacation Bible school, you know that those songs are just stuck on a loop in your head. So that's kind of what's happening in this house. But really, it's like I've just been parenting, kind of hanging out, enjoying the summer, pulling it up. It's been like unbearably hot up here. Like just like can't even spend like 45 minutes an hour outside. It's like, unless you're by a water source. But I've just been doing that, trying to help out outside of both my jobs with my church. My church kind of leans on me to be sometimes, like I always wanted to be kind of seen as like the nerd translator. Like I go to church wearing a t-shirt that's very specific to like either Critical Role or like a very niche video game stuff. And like, teenagers will kind of be like, hey, it's cool to be, it's not, I'm like, it's cool to be a nerd. No.
It's super cool.
It's super cool. Everybody my age does it. No.
No, I like, as silly as that sounds though, like we often talk about that within LTN of like, empowering nerds to be themselves. It's like, you walk into a church and the people into D&D are really quiet in the corner. But if you walk in wearing a D&D shirt, they're going to come out of the shadows and be like,
oh yeah.
It was like what we were talking about earlier, is just want to talk about what they love.
I totally forgot I was wearing like a Overwatch competition shirt. I totally forgot. This kid out of nowhere just comes right up to me and he's like, hey, how do you think the team was doing today? And I'm like,
you talking sports?
Are you talking to me? Like sports? And he's like, no, the Overwatch team. And I was like, oh yeah. I totally didn't even know that there was a match going on. Like, and I just like started having a conversation with him, and he was like, he's like, what's your main? Like, I'm a Lucio main. Like, who do you main as? And it just kept going and going. And I was like, well, dude, it was like nice talking to you. And he's like, yeah, I got to go back and find my mom.
Nice. Yeah, it's easy. Like I have those conversations with people in my church about like, people are like, I'm not a nerd. I don't nerd out about anything. And I'm like, all right, all I need is like 3 questions. And we'll more often than not find something. At the time it was like the latest Marvel TV series on Disney Plus. So yeah, Easy.
Yeah.
I wear a ton of nerd shirts. Well, cool. Like, thanks for sharing that stuff. This, like I said, we want to dive in. We want to know what's going on. Like, and now I need to go watch Young Sheldon, I think. But let's talk about LTN for a little bit. What's happening now? Like, what's going on, like, specifically in the community? Like, what's coming up? What's going on?
It's summer right now, so obviously it's a time for a lot of people to either unplug and unwind, and just kind of enjoy life. But we're also doing a couple of different things. We have some Tierney, who's back from an extended break, will be kind of doing some tabletop role-playing games, online presence real soon. We also have a Secret Santa, a gift exchange happening. So if you're listening and it happens to be before the end of July, probably not. Probably not. But if you've hopefully, come join the community, because we are going to be doing more gift exchanges or something kind of similar to that. But we do have a gift exchange going on, and we've done some stuff in the past. We've done Nerdy Wishes, which is kind of like a small group of people whose love language is just giving gifts. They love to give gifts. So it's really kind of something that we try to not capitalize on, but give avenues for people to express their gratitude for others in different ways. But we have a lot of stuff going on. Our Facebook community is, like, as Luke mentioned, a great meme dumping ground, or even a meme finder. All family safe, all kind of great to kind of just browse and everything else. But we have a lot of great content coming up. I want to say, like, the community is just, it's like a coffee shop, like there's people hanging out doing work all day and just looking for people to, say hi to, or just take a break from their actual 9 to 5, like me. And then there's others that are just like, hey, like, I saw this and I wanted to share it with you guys. And we have, little tucked away corners in the back to talk spoilers and not feel like anyone else is going to see that stuff. So, come check it out. We're really proud of our community that we've created, and hope everyone gets a chance to be a part of it, if you're listening and haven't been a part of it already. So.
Yeah, I was going to say too, if you wanted to join in on some gift exchanges and the Nerdy Wish type things, come back in December. I'm sure we'll be doing that.
If I may, like, as kind of an outsider or somebody like new-ish in LTN world, I've been aware of Love Thy Nerd for a little over a year, and joined the Discord sometime last year. I'm bad at Discord, or like being active in Discord, so that's why I'm not around a whole lot. But I just want to be honest with people who are listening, who are part of the community or thinking about joining the community. As a person who's like, yeah, I'm involved in the LTN now, but like semi outsider view, it is like a fantastic Discord community, and everything that you're talking about is dead on. Like, all of different nooks and niches are there. There's a great Bible study that goes on. The co-working vibe is solid. That was one of my favorite things when I first joined on. I was like, oh, I can kind of just like hang out here, and people are talking, and I don't really have to be a part of it, but I can chime in when I want to. The memes are great. Like, the community vibe is strong there, and your input can be whatever it wants to be. Like, you don't have to be mega plugged in, popping off every day, but like, there's all the different spots where you can find your vibe and what you're into. And like, I mean, props to y'all for making that a reality, because that's not the case in a lot of other Discords have all the channels and stuff, but like, a place where it's happening is the LTN Discord, for real. Like, I'm not just saying it because I'm on the podcast. Like, I mean it for y'all, and I want to give props to you for making that a reality.
Thanks. I mean, that's I mean, for someone as an outsider, that's great to hear that, you've found a place. you know, like I'm constantly trying to look at it from somebody that just joined. Like, are we too over? Because when I joined, the memes that I got hit in the face with, you know,
it's active. It's active.
Oh, it was very active, you know, when COVID and everyone was locked in, like, because everyone just wanted to talk and be heard. But like, and now it's, you know, it's a lot tamer. And like you said, it's other Discord channels, like people just like are waiting to like pounce on anybody. Like if they say one wrong thing, just being like, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Get out. Like,
well, actually,
yeah, a whole bunch of lady, a whole bunch of that kind of happening. Yeah. But yeah,
no, it's definitely it's a good mix. Like we've got everyone is very kind. We've got a good welcome team. We've got good conversation starters. So if you want to be a part of that too and be kind of like a part of that, not just like hop in and share memes, but like, no, I would love to cultivate some conversations and ask questions and be a part of the welcome team or the mod team. Like hop in, get involved. And then, yeah, like,
and it's also, it's a great place too to learn about what Luke does all day with his missions. You know, like we've now kind of opened up the general missions chat to everybody. And if you had questions, like, you know, the missions, when I remember when the first time I was like, I was going to do something with LTN and I was going to do a missions, I was like, who do I talk to about this? You know, like I just sent an email and I think Chris at the time responded back, and then he partnered me up with April and name drops. If you're a member, you know these people are. If you know, you know. And it just wasn't kind of feeling it, but like, you know, to be able to know who to talk to, or even have like these groups of individuals that have been part of these missions, and just hearing about the fun that they had, but also the great connections that they have, you know, like, and the connections that last, you know, like I think Luke, you mentioned in one of just at one of the past trips you were on that someone was like, oh yeah, he happened to be attending the convention, hung out with you guys the whole time, every day was like, hey, where are you guys going after this? Like, and played games and hung out and just like did everything. And then he jumped in the Discord like that following week. And I think he's like, might be hooking up and wants to try and do another missions with us. And that's awesome. Yeah. Like, that's what it's about. Like, you know, it's finding that place where you belong, to sound cheesy.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely a good spot. We could talk about it all day. Okay. And we will in the Discord. So join us over there. One last thing before we like wrap this up. In September, because this should come out before September in theory. What's happening in September?
The LTN staff, you, me, Bubba, Matt, everybody is attending Strong Tower convention in Minnesota. Crazy Wisconsin. See, Wisconsin.
It's in the Milwaukee area, Waukesha, I believe.
Yeah.
Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. And this is a former convention that Luke and everyone else helped out in the past, right? You've helped out there? Right.
I think we've been there. It's at least been 2 years. I think this will be the third year that we're there. Maybe fourth. I don't remember.
Yeah, in the past, we've done LTN cons, kind of like a place for everyone in the community to kind of, central place for everyone to kind of meet. We're doing it at Strong Tower this year. We're going to see how that goes. And if it, you know, doesn't pan out, we'll figure out something else maybe, or do something different. But like, it's going to be a great time because I've only met Luke digitally. I've met Bubba digitally, Matt, everyone digitally. I'm all the way up here in the Northeast. They're kind of Midwest. So it's going to be all of us in one place. So if you can come, please consider joining, or check it out. You know, like, just consider even going to Strong Tower Con, future events, because I'm excited. I haven't been to a convention for about 2 years now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a great place to just meet up with people in person. Like we've been talking about the digital community, and it's great, but like it's something else. It just hits different when it's like you get to meet up with all your digital friends. Oh, you are a real person and play games. And
I'm still not convinced that Luke is a real person. It could all just be digital. AI is getting really good, so I don't know.
It's true.
He's the best AI I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's, it's we lean in on the beard. That's what distracts everyone. It's like everything else is mid, but like people are like, oh, the beard, it's distracting. This looks real. For sure. Well, dude, thanks for sharing what you're reading, watching, playing, experiencing. Like I always love hearing that. And then, yeah, what's going on in the LTN community. Excited to see what's next. Like this is what's going on now, but I can't wait to see what you got up your sleeve. I'm sure it's something that you haven't mentioned yet.
I come up with different ideas all the time, and I try to blue sky them out as much as I can. So hopefully we come
I've
up
got
with
a scrap piece of paper that I just like jot things down, and then sometimes I lose it and sometimes I don't.
Y'all aren't just post-it notes everywhere. That's my thing. I write something down and I stick it, post-it note, post-it note, post-it note, post-it note, post-it note, and hopefully it stays where I need to see it.
Yeah,
that was me for a while, but ADHD just get those in my way. Yeah.
Now we have Notion.
Yes.
It's very handy. Now I just make a new page on Notion and then I lose those.
Like forget about it.
A bunch of digital sticky notes.
Yes.
But anyway, like I said, dude, thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for just hopping in on the pilot episode of the LTN Pulse. Where can we find you outside the Discord? Anywhere special?
I am pretty much everywhere. It's Caffeine 247. That's CAFFINE 247. That's Xbox, PlayStation, Instagram, Discord, and on Facebook. If you really must know, it's Brian Neidhardt. But that's where you can find me. I don't post a whole lot on most of the social media channels, but if you do find me, drop me a follow and we'll, connect and talk about LTN stuff if you really want. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. I will.
Thanks for having me.
I gotta make sure I'm following you in all the places.
I was all about name branding before name branding was a thing. Yes.
You nailed it too with Caffeine 24/7. Like, there's a lot of people that want that name now.
13 years old and I thought I knew how to spell caffeine.
Oh, fantastic. Well, listeners, thanks so much for joining us here while we explore what's happening in nerd culture or missions, as well as what we're reading, watching, and experiencing here in nerd culture. You've heard it all episode, and I'm going to say it again. If you want to hang out, the place to be is lovethynerd.com/Discord. Really, anywhere on the lovethynerd.com website, you can find anything you want to know about the organization. It's very well laid out. It's, if you think about where the Discord is, it's in lovethynerd.com/Discord. Want to know about missions? Lovethynerd.com/missions. Did I get that right, Luke? I feel like I got that right.
Yeah.
It's so well laid out. It's great. And as we mentioned, the Facebook community is there at lovethynerd.com/Facebook. What? It's that easy? It's that easy. And if you like what you heard here, give us a subscribe. This is the first episode. We've got more to come. Hopefully we do. We do. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. On YouTube, if you're watching it, that's obviously where we are there. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the first episode. We want to hear. Click the thumbs up. All the good fun stuff. Hopefully, I think we're going to be on the GLU network, God Loves You network, found on Roku devices, the Roku apps. We're hoping for it. We're quote unquote manifesting it into reality right here as I'm saying it. But Luke, if they want to partner with LTN, let them know where to hit you.
Exactly what you were saying earlier. lovethynerd.com/partner. Go check that out. It's a great ministry. It's a great organization to partner with. If you want to know anything about that, hit up myself, hit up Brian, hit up any of the staff you find in the Discord. Again, we're just going to drive Discord home. But check it out if you want to, like I said, if you want to get more involved on like a volunteer level, again, hop in, just start getting involved, meeting people, and we'll find you. We'll find you. But again, thanks for listening. Catch us in all the places, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.